This one is a song that's well,
Your reactions of that? Yeah.
I'm going to find the song called Origin. Yeah. Yeah. Yep, thank you.
And they just play it on I think they just kind of shoot.
tātou tangi o te pere, nā reira, kua te kia koe, rangatira.
Aroha atu whānau. We're just waiting for a speaker because there's a certain music that needs to be played, and then our brother Doug will get it started. So just a couple of minutes and then you'll understand why we're waiting for the speaker to play this music. Thank you.
If I can just make a short announcement before the ceremony starts. You'll see the whānau have got are doing this live stream, and the fellow that's operating it is using 5G, something around that. But what he sees that would help him with his streaming is that if we all turn off our phones. Pai tērā, ka pai. Tēnei te mihi atu kia koutou te whānau. O tae mai ki te nehu ngā tātou nei marae kura, tātou nei kuia, tātou nei whaia, tātou nei tuahine, a tātou nei wāhine tōki te mahi katoa. Anō reira koutou te whānau, nau mai, hara mai, whakatau mai, a tēnā koutou, ai tēnā tātou katoa. Karaki e tīmatanga mo tēnei nihi te tīmatanga, muri e tērā, e waiata, muri a tērā, ko hoati te rākau. Ki te tātou nei minita S, moana ki te whakamoemiti tātou nei wā, no reira. Anei te karaki e tīmatanga. Ko rangi nui ki runga ko papatu e nuku ki raro. Ko ngā tua Māori kei ngā kaitiaki o te ao. Whakatata mai. Kia puta mai te maramatanga ko te Māori tū, ko te Māori ora, ko te Māori a ngā tūpuna. Kia tuturi whakamāua, kia tēnā. Haumi e hui e. E hono re, o ke roria, manaro o ki te whenua.
Whakalowhalai atu ngā mihi nui kia koutou. Welcome to the city of Kerepehi. I mean that truly, it is a city. This is the city of the Hauraki Plains. Before we get started with the service, just to go over a couple of things that's going to take place during the service. So when we have finished our service here, the marching team will stand just at the start of these gazebos here and do a guard of honour for Ngaire. When Ngaire gets to the gate there, there'll be a changeover of pallbearers. And whānau, please can you support wahine toa, whoever, to take her back up to her final resting place. Just along the way, all the way up, just tag, and that'll be fantastic. When we get up there, there'll be a karakia. We'll do the committal there. There'll be one reading and a karakia. There's no people other than that speaking up there. You can say your final words when you're putting in a bit of dirt or putting in a flower. You're more than welcome to come back, but please, you will be porfiried back onto the marae. But that'll only happen when Lester comes down. And Lester won't leave there till his wife is fully covered and pretty with the flowers on top of her. But it's important, whānau, that you stay to whakanoa when we have finished this day, which means that you come back in here, we get pōwhiri back into the whare, and then it's kai hakiri. And that's a special time for Lester, his children and his mokopuna. So please, please, if you can stay. You will see in your service booklet there that there's listed the first lot of speakers. I have the list of the other speakers and I will just call you up. Please don't be offended if you're not asked to speak, but there's no open floor today. You'll be able to catch up with your stories when you're having a kai. So that's all I needed to say for that. Thank you. Well, Ngaire, we'll get started now. Our dear Ngaire Allen Fox. The sun rose on the 26th of March 1957 and the sun set on the 1st of September 2024. Precious and dearly loved wife, mum, nana, great nana, sister, auntie, niece, cousin and dear friend to many. To lose that special person in our lives takes us on a journey of grief that we do not know how to explain. An emptiness has us emotionally drained, and sometimes we don't say the right things to people because we're at such a loss. So we need to remember when we're grieving that sometimes things are said that aren't really meant. But if we understand where people are at that time, then we understand where they're coming from. And there's people here today who are in the position that Lester is now. You have lost the love of your life. You have lost a parent or grandparent. So you know exactly how they're feeling today. As you can look through the whole world and there's no one like the one that you have lost, but they still live on in your memories. We all know the value and the meaning of life consists in living it well. People who have been a strength and comfort to others and have worked for future generations, deriving fulfillment and satisfaction from doing so. These are the people who bring value and meaning to life, and that's what we acknowledge Ngaire for today. We meet here today to honour and to pay tribute to the life of Ngaire and to express our love and admiration for her. Of course, it's natural we should be sad today, because in a practical sense, Ngaire is no longer a part of our lives. Today is also a day for memories. Today will be remembered for many reasons, but mainly we hope that you remember it as a very special day. A special day in which you shared time with people and had your laughs or had your cries, to pay your last respects, but to say a sad and fond farewell to Ngaire, who we've all been privileged to have known. We have all come from different places, and we are all at different stages on our journey through life. Our paths are varied, and we certainly look at life in many different ways. But today, there is one thing that we all have in common. At one point or another, and to some degree or another, our lives have been enriched by Ngaire. As Ngaire joins her parents Albie and Joan and her brother Peter, she leaves behind her siblings Audrey, David and Vicky and their families. Ngaire, today is the hardest day for the love of your life, for Lester, your tamariki Liana and Andy, Rach and Arama, Steph and Andrea, your mokopuna Bailey, Kayla, Alia, Mason, Jordan, Nova, Manaho, Anatia, and your mokotuarua, Zaylee. Because today, they lay you in your final resting place. And it's not going to be easy for your babies. But we as a whānau will do the best to make sure that you get the send-off that you deserve, my dear. Because who else gets buried when the Māori king gets buried? Ngaire does. And this morning, people, honestly, the sky was clear before 6 o'clock this morning. Usually in Kerepehi it's very foggy. Today it was clear. And before she was closed this morning, the sun shone in right onto her face. So those are the things that we have to remember when we send her off. Today we give thanks for a very special person who has made such a major contribution to the good qualities of our lives, and who have done their best to gently polish away our heartache. Please thank her for the endless hours of time she spent being very courageous and strong for her battle she knew she was never going to win. Thank her for always being there for us, for the person we knew we could turn to when we needed comfort, encouragement, or just a hug. Thank her for making a home for us where we could feel safe, where we felt belonged. But most of all, please thank her for her unconditional love, for loving us no matter what, and for frequently showing love in ways that made us feel valued and cherished. We love her, we admire her, we respect her, and we wish that we could give back to her the many good things that she gave to us. Ngā mihi nui kia koutou. Please sing along if you wish to. Whānau, our first speakers are her three daughters, and they will be followed by her Paul Bailey.
koutou. E rere ana ngā mihi aloha ki a koutou katoa. My name is Liana, Ngairi's eldest daughter. My sisters and I feel nothing but pride as we stand here today to honour our beautiful mummy to Steph. To see so many of you here is no surprise to us, as we know just how special she was to many of you. Ngaire Ellen Fulton was born on the 26th of March 1957 in Huntly. She was taken from us much too soon on Sunday the 1st of September 2024. There is so much that happened between those two dates, and there is simply no way I can possibly reiterate the life Mum led in a single speech. So I'll talk about some special moments my mum had in her life. Ngaire was the second child of Albie and Joan Fulton, sister to Audrey, David, Peter and Vicky. Many of Mum's earlier years were spent in and around Huntly, Coromandel and Hauraki. Although times weren't always easy and often a struggle, she had many wonderful memories from her childhood. Memories of her mum, Grandma, and how she loved Christmas time and all the special traditions she had, which to this day Mum still held with us. Memories of her dad, Granddad, a hard man who could be tough on his kids, but how they bonded through her swimming and how he would coach her to be able to go on and be a champion New Zealand age group swimmer. She reminded us often she would swim 1.5 miles every morning and every night, and 2 of her swimming records remained for over 20 years at Hauraki Plains College. When Mum finished school, she went on to Teachers College, and she made some lifelong friendships there, and as the years passed, all of their children and my sisters and I also became close friends. Although not always in the classroom, Mum found other jobs she could use her teaching skills. She helped many young people in the community through her work at Maranga Mai and VTEL. Her love of sports, and in particular touch, then saw her in roles with Touch New Zealand and Touch Canterbury, which she loved. She was a staunch advocate for the game and what it could do for our youth. Later, when moving to Australia, she struggled to find her place. But after some help from Auntie Chrissy, she became a logistics expert at moving meat. Somewhere amongst all of that, Mum also managed to meet the love of her life, our dear Lester. Many of you already know the story of how she apparently had to chase him because he was so shy. Their first official date was the Catchment Board Ball. Lester and Ngaire went on to marry on the 20th of January 1979, and they have been best friends ever since. They went on to have their children, us girls, myself, Rachel and Stephen. She was a 100% all-in mum. She was a placenta mum and went on to represent her area at national level. She was a school board mum. She was a team manager mum. Whatever we decided we wanted to do, she was a make it happen mum. As we grew up and found our own partners, she welcomed them into our home with open arms. Arima, Ange and Andy, she always treated them as their own. Later, as we all had our own children, she took on her most prized role yet of being their nan. Bailey came first, and her and Dad both supported Rachel early on in bringing him up. Each moko that arrived after that, Mum found a way to connect and bond with each of them with their own individual special love language. Unfortunately, Mum never got to touch her newest great moko, Zaylee. But Baba is here with her now, and as everyone knows, she has made herself very well heard these last few days, so we know she has her nan's very strong traits. Mum lived life to the fullest and wasn't afraid to show the world who she was. The the wonderful thing about Mum was that she didn't live just for herself. Helping others is what brought her the most joy. It will come as no surprise that some of her greatest achievements were about helping others. Creating Kerepehi's Touch Club, which involved bringing the whole Kerepehi community together and creating a kaupapa where husbands, wives and their children could play together, travel together, achieve success and lifelong friendships. This led on to what Mum considered to be one of her greatest achievements, winning the Youth Touch World Cup in 2005, a campaign she worked tirelessly on for years. Lastly, her final project before she left us all was the completion of our wharekai, Tutu Hawaru. Mum was the driving force in making this happen, something she was still able to achieve even as her illness was taking over. Friendships meant a lot to Mum, and none more so than the group of ladies she marched with. I remember well when she told Rachel, Steph and I that they had formed a marching group. We thought it was the biggest joke. But soon realised how significant that group of women would become to my mother, and we thank you ladies so much for that. None of us were to see what lay ahead for our poor Mum. I was there that day with Mum as the doctor explained that she had been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease in 2017. At the time, her and Dad were living in Australia, and that diagnosis changed the direction of her and Dad's life. The years that followed and her gradual deterioration was hard for us as a family. To see someone become a prisoner in her own body was heartbreaking. As a wider whānau, we supported our Mum right to the end, and our beautiful father, who loved our Mum as hard as any one person can love another. My Mum wrote a book that we found, with Steph put together, and her greatest wish in there was not to have Parkinson's anymore. So on Sunday she finally got her wish and she can rest easy. To close, I want to thank you all once again for being here today as we prepare to say goodbye to our Mum. We want to say a special thank you to our Kerepehi whānau and ringawera who worked tirelessly behind the scenes for us these past few days. Uncle Dougie, Auntie Baba, Nanny Janie, and Auntie Mo for supporting and guiding us throughout this journey. Finally, from our whānau, Dad, Lester, Rachel, Arama, Bailey, Kiani, Kayla, Aaliyah, Jordan, Zaylee, Steph, Ange, Manaho, Anatia, Andy, Mason, Nova, and myself. When you remember our Mum, remember her big laugh and bright smile. Goodbye, Mum, and we will love and cherish you always.
To my dear mokopuna, never forget how much I love you. As you grow older, you will face many challenges in life. Just do your best. Life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain. Every day may not be good, but find something good in every day. Laugh, love, and live. Follow your dreams, believe in yourself, You are strong, brave, and determined. You can overcome any obstacle that comes your way. I am proud of you, and I know that you will go far in life. I will watch over you every day and always remember you. Nan loves you.
Whānau, this is a request from Lester, and some of you have got those papers so you can sing it. We'll do the English version and then Māori. Majesty. Thank you. To start our next tribute, we will start with Logan, and then that'll be followed by Lenny. Thank you.
Kia ora whānau. I'm Logan, Māni Ngaire's favourite niece or nephew. Just so you guys are aware of that out there. I'm Audrey's son, and yeah, Māni Ngaire's been a huge part of our lives, as you know, and before you guys here, we can see that. Mum, Auntie Vicky and Uncle David have put a bit of stuff together. And then I got volunteered to come up and sit. So here I am. Auntie Ngaire's been the second child of a family of 5, but as we all probably here can attest to, she was always the boss. The family usually were happy to fall in line and comply with her decisions and directions. She was strong-willed like her father Albie, but also had her mother Joan's soft side. She was the chief organiser and coordinator of all the family activities and parties, was always delegated as speaker when required for family occasions, and the family always came very, very wary when she started with, "I've just been thinking." Grandma and Granddad always encouraged their children to be actively involved in any endeavours or interests in their lives, which is why Auntie Ngaire has never been a person to stand on the sidelines, but has taken on any role to help any organisation, community group, sports team and any other interests that anyone asked her to be involved in. Auntie Ngaire and Uncle Lester were always available when needed for whatever reason, and when they moved away from Kerepehi, she always said she was only a plane ride away. And Granddad said that she must have had shares in Air New Zealand. But he was always probably the happiest to see her when she did come home. We know Auntie Ngaire and Uncle Peter, we know Auntie Ngaire and Uncle Peter are now catching up and putting all the rights to the world, and they're going to be watching over us. We're going to miss you, Auntie Ngaire. We're going to miss you a lot, especially my mum. Audrey is there. It will leave a very large hole in her life. They were always very close and had a special bond, and especially over the last 7 or 8 years since she was diagnosed with Parkinson's. Rest now, Auntie Ngaire, and know that we're going to make sure that we look after Uncle Lester, the girls, and all your mokos. Thank you.
Aroha ki te whenua, ki te oranga, ki te tangata, ki te kupu, mo tonu, mo ake, ake. Brother Lynn.
Tēnā kātou rā, tēnā koutou e te whānau. Tēnā koutou te iwi. Kia ora. kōrero Pākehā. I'm here on behalf of the Te Haere Fox whānau to acknowledge our Fulton whānau. I think we've known each other for years, Mum and Dad, Joan and Albert. We used to call Joan Ma, she was our Ma. Years ago, we all sort of brought up together with the Fultons in Ngaire and us in Kerepehi. And we went to school together, we played sports together. Later on, as we were playing rugby, there was this girl, she kept chasing my brother. And I used to say to Lester, I said, hey, here's this girl, she keeps chasing you, she wants to know where you are. And Lester being Lester, you know, she'll be right. And it took a number of years before we actually got together. I haven't been here much around Kerepehi, I'm living somewhere else, but the whānau is still living here. Audrey, and the rest of the whānau, on behalf of the Fox whānau, we welcomed you into our whānau years ago when Laurie and Lester got together. And you can see the legacy that she has left. She's sitting over here today. I think that's all that we can say, and yeah, make sure the middle brother, I'm not the oldest brother. So, kia ora, thank you very much. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou.
Our next speaker is going to be a very dear friend of hers and also a companion of hers in the marching team. Thanks, Sugar.
Just te koera.
Come behind me. Right behind me. Thank you.
Oh, kia ora tātou. What a beautiful day for my dear, dear friend. So, I know you're thinking, marching. No little skirts, no marching boots, no top hats, okay? Long pants, shirts, that's our dress wear. So in 1998, our marching team, that's us, was created. 26 years later, we are still going strong. Each member was selected for their individual qualities. Hers, of course, was her planning and organisation skills. But the thing about this, when Ngaire joined this team, she didn't create it, she didn't run around and organise things. She could turn up, enjoy the whole weekend without bothering to try and plan, you know, buses, planes, passports, all those kind of things. She could come and actually enjoy her time. And that's what our marching team is all about. Leisure marching motto is fun, fitness, friendship. In our team, it seems to be fun, friendship, and more fun. We travelled to most places throughout New Zealand to support other marching teams. We would go away for maybe 3 days to march for 2 minutes. The other things, what happens on tour stays on tour. When Ngaire returned to Hauraki from Christchurch, due to her illness getting worse, she was still a part of the team. She would attend trainings, she would attend our day that we have once every 2 years, and she would sit and maybe do the raffle table. We still involved her. She still supported us in our own club day. When Ngaire was admitted to Ohunamuri House as her sickness got worse, she was still a part of us. We would go away for the weekends. I would visit her on Tuesdays, that was our day together, and I would show her our video and our display that we had done in that weekend. We went away for our 25th anniversary last year, and she was in our minds as usual. So we knew Ngaire used to like knitting, crocheting, apart from all the organisation. She did do some nanny stuff. So we thought we'd do this crocheting and knitting that none of us could do. So thank goodness we had her sister Audrey and our lovely Miss Gwenny to teach us. Now we thought that this activity would probably take us a couple of hours. Well, excuse me, but it took all bloody day. And all we had to do was do a square to about that size. Wow, the swearing that was going on, and oh God, when are we going to have a beer? We need a drink, we need some food. But eventually we got it done, and our lovely Miss Gwenny, who is our treasurer, she put all those squares together and made a blanket for Ngaire and was presented to her up at our Hunamuri house. Ngaire always had that blanket on her bed, and it now lays in her coffin down by her feet. So we will still always be with Ngaire. And every time we go away for our weekends to march, she will always be with us. So thank you all for coming for whatever reason, because she touched so many people's hearts, whether she was involved or whether she and our team just turned up and did her thing. Kia ora koutou.
Thanks, Ngaire. We're singing to Ngaire. We're singing too. My only sunshine, you make me happy when skies are gray. What do you reckon, Ngaire? Wow. Our next speaker is Maya.
Kia ora koutou katoa, mihi ana kia koutou katoa I tēnei rā, e mihi ana kia ois, e te whānau o Ngaire. Hello everyone. Can't comprehend what you must all be going through today, and my heart, like everyone else's here, breaks for you all. And just want to thank you for the privilege of speaking on this occasion for Mum, Nan, and your wife West. My introduction to Ngaire was probably the same as 1,000 other kids from around Motu, in terms of Lester just randomly bringing a kid home. And I remember walking inside the house, and I didn't realise it at the time, I was only 11, and I seen Ngaire look at me, and now I know what the look was. Oh, this is the next one. And it all came about, I ended up being the Kerry Cobras touch team mascot. So Lester and Ngaire would dress me up in my Cobras shorts, which would go down to my ankles, and my shirt, which was 5 times too big, which no shirt ever is these days, unfortunately. And I was part of the Kerry Cobras family, and gee did I think I was cool. My role was carry the ball bag to the field and back to Leicester's car, and that was it. But tell you what, every time they won a tournament it was because of me, I can guarantee that. It was funny, the Kerry kids didn't really like me too much. I'm not sure much has changed there. They used to say I was the golden child, and I'd be like, what? And they're like, yeah, you're the golden child, your photo's up there with the other 3 kids' photos in their house. And I was like, no, I'm not a golden child, you should just hoe tattoos and annoy her, that's how she likes me. And other of Leicester's and Ngaire's friends would say that I was the son they never had, and that was the biggest funny joke to me, because back there being 11 in all those years, well, I was a sookie compared to the girls, and they could all beat me up, and unfortunately nothing's changed. So, but what an incredible blessing it was back then, and when I look over my life in terms of the impact that it had by having 2 such incredible people. And it's quite funny, I think we often think of Lester as being this man of heart, which he 100% is. But when you unpack what Ngaire did, so was she, but just in a very different way. And over the last week, I've been just reflecting on what I know of Ngaire and the things she's done. And what just clearly popped out to me was how selfless a woman she was. In terms of, she would always see a problem, and instead of just seeing it walking past it, she'd go do something about it. You talk to the Kerry kids here, she'd be the one who'd pick them up from parties, the one who'd organise Rainbow's End trips, the one who would organise touch clubs, not a touch team, a touch club. Ngaire doesn't do anything small. If she's going to save 10, it'll be 10,000, not just 10. And she did a touch club, and that helped their whānaus, and ultimately by helping their whānau at home, they helped their kids at home too. And that's who she was. But I don't think she ever got the pats on the back she deserves, because to be that person, you have to have conversations most of us don't, and you have to fight battles that most of us don't want to. And that's what she did. And that's why often I used to hear things like, oh, don't get on her wrong side, and that's correct, do not get on her wrong side. But you only be on her wrong side if you're in the way of her solving the problem and the need that she had. And that's who she was, and that's why she is one of the most special ladies. There's incredible people from this town, and she's one of them in terms of the impact that she had on Kerepehi, not her family, not the kids, friends of her kids, but the whole community, and every community she's gone to. And so that was the blessing that I had from Ngaire, and I just wanted to come and say what an amazing woman you were, and you are, and always will be in all of our memories, Ngaire. And I know your main worry will not be yourself, it'll be Lester. And don't worry about Lester, everyone here's got him, everyone's here. That's another thing too, I bet you most of us here today are not people here because we know Lester or Ngaire, but they've genuinely impacted our lives or your kids' lives. And that's a real change, I guess, from a lot of times when we're at Tangi. But we got Lester, Ngaire, we got the kids and everyone else. Lester works at our school, so I've doubled his hours, so he doesn't get the time to think about anything, and I've halved his pay so he can be moaned about something else. But all the love to you all. Great to know that she's peaceful now, and thank you all.
Tukui Our next two speakers are going to speak on behalf of Touch New Zealand. Can I please ask Joe and Pete to come forward? Ngā mihi.
Kia ora whanau, ngā mihi nui kia koutou. Got the call up about half an hour ago, so got no bit of paper, got no notes, got no nothing, but it's kind of how it is with us. Sort of formally my role here is to, I guess, to represent and the couple of 100,000 people a year that play touch every year, and you know, a part of our sport. But really I'm here just on behalf of myself, Linda, my tamariki and my mokos to pay our respects and to be here to support you all, because I think that's really all we can do. I guess at the end of the day we get to wear this badge. Boys here have got it as well, because of the people that came before us. You know, we stand on the shoulders of the people that came before us. They've created the opportunity, and Ngaire was one of those people. I first got to know Ngaire many, many years ago when I was a pretty poor coach, coaching touch age group teams, coming to tournaments that she was part of running, and doing what I was told when I was told to do it, and as many times as I was told to do it. So, no different to anyone else. Quietly confident that despite the lofty heights some think that I've risen to, that would still be the case now if she was here talking to me. So, that's all good. At the end of the day, it's always difficult when you come to these things. This is one of the hardest parts of my job, and we do it far too often of late. You know, recently Paula Wanakori and others that have passed away. But I'm also incredibly honoured to stand here to represent our sport, to represent our people in front of those that have been involved for many, many years. Obviously the whole family has been very involved. Lester was a coaching manager when I was, as I said, a very poor coach. Diana captained the open women's team for many, many years and was part of the whole structure of the sport. And Ngaire, I think she came through just about any number of jobs at the organisation as she made her way through. Heavily involved in the junior sector, heavily involved in regional development. You know, regions again come back to where you come from. Ran the organisation for a period of time, right through to the top. And again, they all did an amazing job and allowed us to be here today, both to be here as representatives of sport, but also to be here to honour her and her whānau. I don't have any great stories, other than in 2005 in Kawana at the second Youth Touch World Cup. We played Australia, we ended up in a 3-all draw, 6 teams, we won 3 grades, they won 3 grades. So Ngaire stole the cup and smuggled it back to New Zealand, and we ended up with it. It's still in the cupboard somewhere, we've never given it back. So aside from that, I'm going to ask Peter if you'll come forward. He's known Ngaire for a lot longer than I have. Kia ora whanau.
Kia ora whanau, my name's Peter McIntyre. I'm not the Pete that's supposed to be talking, but I just thought it would be wrong if I didn't. Firstly, a little bit of my story. I started as a young coach at that Youth World Cup, or the year before it, and Lester gave me the job, and Ngaire was pretty much my mum, like everyone else's mum. She was a very firm lady, but once the platform was laid, you knew where you were. So that was how it was done, and it was beautiful. Just to you, Lester, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for what you've done for me and my whānau, and your beautiful wife. I did say to Lee as I went up there, I wouldn't miss this for the world, and what I meant by that is just paying tribute to what your whānau has done for my whānau. And to you, Lee, you coached my daughter, and she had a rough ride, and you looked after her, and you put her in a position where she could show her traits, and that was trust from you. So I just want to thank you personally. My mum always used to say, as your children are a reflection of their parents, and you know, you should be very proud, mother and father. Ngaire and Les, you've done an amazing job with your kids. So just personally from me, it's a personal thank you to you. You know, I wouldn't be in the position I am now if it wasn't for you and for what you've done for me. No doubt there's many a story out there. I'm just lucky enough I can stand here and say thank you. and I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and so do my children. Kia ora.
Ki te whai ki te o mana wa tihe Māori ora. Tēnā koutou rau rangatira mā. Te whaia. Te rangatira. E te kuia. Takuto. Takuto i roto I te araki. Haere. Haere ki te whitirangi tia. Haere ki tō kāinga tūturu. Ki te whānau pani. Kia kaha, kia maia, kia manawa nui. Ki ngā kai kōrero. E mihi ana ki a koutou. Te kaupapa nei ki te kōrero Pākehā. My name is Peter Walters, and I was involved with Ngaire and Leicester for a number of years at Touch New Zealand. In fact, in 2003, there's a place up the road called, I think it's the Pink Pig, and Ngaire rang me up one time. Didn't really know her, and I knew she worked for Touch New Zealand. She rang me up and she said, "Oh, me and Leicester want to meet with you. Can you meet us at the Pink Pig? It's a place here." She gave me the directions. I looked up my road map. We used to have books in those days, not phones. And so I came to meet them at the Pink Pig, and we talked, and I left there as an employee of Touch New Zealand. Ngaire had just given me a job. So we worked together for a number of years. Lee mentioned about that campaign in 2005 in Australia when we won the Youth World Cup, and that was great. That was a real highlight. With Ngaire, a lot of people say, "Ooh, she's, you know, you're gonna have a lot of arguments, you have a lot of discussions." But through my time, you know, I don't ever remember us having an argument because I was too scared to answer back to her. Maya stole a little bit of my thunder. He was talking about the stuff that I thought I wanted to touch on, but he was a ho-tutu himself. He talked about all these other kids. No, he still is. But look, this lady, she did for our sport of touch. She did lots. Her and obviously Leicester right by her side. They impacted on a lot of kids. A lot of tamariki, a lot of rangatahi, and a lot of adults as well. You know, they impacted on their lives by setting good examples, by putting plans in place and teaching you about time management, planning and preparation, strength and conditioning. You know, they did their very best, and they are what I call pioneers of the sport. They're pioneers of the sport. They started their club there. And I used to love coming down here and kicking their ass, you know, from Auckland. We were the city guys that had all the training and all the numbers, but seriously, they did a great job. It was good coming to the smaller communities and seeing lots of teams and lots of people being healthy and fit, and it was good back in the day. Not saying it's not now, but kids get a lot more other things to do now and things that aren't as active. And you know, they did a lot around keeping their community, like Maya said, not just their family and their own kids, but the community. So yeah, I want to say thank you to Ngaire and to Leicester. I had more to do with Leicester, to be fair, because he was my boss. He was the coaching director, and I was one of the coaches. And so we had a lot more to do with each other. Very quiet man, but they were tight. They were tight. And yeah, it was a great time for me because I'd learned some good stuff off them. Old school stuff, respect, manners. So, and we're here now. Ngaire. Ka uti tine mi ka koutou katoa. Tēnā koutou. Kia ora hui mana tātou. E toru ngā mea, ngā mea nui, e ki ana, te pai pera, tūmana ko, whakapono. tēnā koutou, kia ora hui hui mana tātou.
Our next speaker is Miss Ellie, please.
Kia ora koutou. For those that don't know me, I'm Ellie Priest, Ni Rita, and have been given the privilege to speak on behalf of the Kerepehi nieces and nephews. Recently, someone asked me how I was related to Auntie Ngaire, and I quickly answered, I'm from Kere, and everyone is your auntie and uncle. That was enough said. As so many have already paid tribute to, Auntie Ngaire was a remarkable individual who has touched the lives of many in our community. It is clear Auntie Ngaire had a big heart. She has been guiding light, always ready with helping hands and a listening ear. Whether organising community events, lending her expertise or simply being present in times of need, Auntie Ngaire has shown us the true meaning of compassion and dedication. My sister Lisa, who's currently in Singapore, wasn't able to be here today, but she asked me to read the following. They say actions speak louder than words, and that perfectly describes Auntie Ngaire. She was a doer, not a talker. Auntie Ngaire was the heartbeat of our community, always ready with a helping hand and a driving force behind so many of the events and moments that brought us together. She just didn't talk about making things happen, she made them happen. I'll be forever grateful to have grown up in a community like Kerepehi, where Auntie Ngaire's contributions were fully paramount. Her influence shaped not just our Kere whānau, but the people we've become wherever we are in the world. While she was a devoted mum and nan, she was also auntie to many of us. Auntie Ngaire quietly supported us from the sidelines, figuratively and literally, always there, and she was always dependable. Auntie Ngaire showed us that true influence comes from actions, from stepping up when it counts and being there for others. Auntie Ngaire, thank you. Thank you for the countless sleepovers. Thank you for the endless running around and the late night pickups. Thank you for organising all of us and making sure we knew where we had to be. Thank you for always offering your words of encouragement. Thank you for your support you have always given us in our times of need. Auntie Ngaire, your efforts have not gone unnoticed. Aroha nui te Kere kids.
To all the speakers who have spoken today, thank you very much for sharing and paying such an honourable tribute to this beautiful lady. What can you say? You should be very humbled about the way you've spoken about her. But it's nice for you to share that so that Lester, his children and his mokopuna truly understand the impact that this special lady had on your life. And so how do you continue that? Don't wait till someone's in this position before you tell them that you love them. She always made sure everybody knew what she felt about them. So you need to continue to do that. It doesn't cost you anything to tell someone that you love them. It doesn't cost you anything to be kind to another person. For all the mahi that she's done, for all the memories that you have, and for whatever input that you had and for her life, and for Lester and their family, thank you. For all the speakers that have spoken, some of you have heard this verse before, and you're going to hear it again today. But Ngaire, this is to acknowledge you, everything that you've done, everything that you put your hand to make it successful. Life is like a journey on a train, with its stations, with changes of routes, and even with accidents. At birth we boarded the train and we met our parents, and we believe they will always travel on our side. However, at some station our parents will step down from the train, leaving us on this journey alone. As time goes by, other people will board the train, and they will be very significant in your life. They could be your siblings, they could be your friends, they could be your children, and they could even be the love of your life. Many will step down and leave a permanent vacuum. Others will go so unnoticed that we didn't even realise that they vacated their seats. This train ride will be full of joy, sorrow, fantasy, expectations, hellos, goodbyes and farewells. Success consists of having a good relationship with all the passengers, always requiring that we give the best of ourselves. Because the mystery is to everyone, we do not know at which station we ourselves will step down. So we must live in the best way. We need to remember to love, to forgive, and offer the best of who we are. It is important to do this because when the time comes for us to step down and leave our seat empty, we should leave behind beautiful memories for those who will continue to travel on the train of life without us. That's you, Ngaire. That is definitely you. Ngaire would wish you all a joyful journey for the coming years on your train of life. Remember to reap success, give lots of love and be happy. But most importantly, be thankful for the journey. Ngaire, on behalf of everybody here today, thank you for being a passenger on our train. Ngā mihi nui kia koutou. Mo Kerepehi, we're going to do e te atua, so haramai whānau. Even if you're not from Kerepehi and you know the waiata, you can still come up. Mai ana. Come on. Whānau, we're going to have karakia whakamutunga, and the pallbearers going to acknowledge, take Ngairetu, her cobra flag, and then bring her back here, and then that time the marching ladies can get on either side, please, and then we'll begin the hikoi up to the urupa. Please, don't feel shy if you can help carry Ngaire up. Ngā mihi. And the babies who are going to have the rainbow twirlies, you just go down from the marching ladies. All right? Thank you.
Tēnā no tātou, tēnā mātā waka, I tau mai ki te aha. Hara mai ki Kerepehi tō tātou marae. Must remember, welcome to the capital of Hauraki. Welcome to the capital. There may be metropolis and other centres, anei, the pito o te ao, the centre of the world here. Welcome, welcome to the capital, Kerepehi. Nō reira, e rau rangatira mā. Tēnei mātou ka ino atu nei kia, tō tātou nei matu ni te rani. Nō reira, he whakaaro nui ki tō tātou nei kiingi, po te tau te whero, te tua whetū. E noho mai rā, ara, ki tōna oki, wāhi oki, ki te mauna tapu, ki taupiri, i takoto ai, ka ingo ai ngā nui, i o rātou mā, i o nā tīpuna, o nā kīngitanga. Rātou ki a rātou, pērā, tō tātou nei mārei kūrā, e tira hanei, i raro te mahau, tō tātou nei whare, te iti o Hauraki. Our thoughts also are with the families of Tainui Waka, as they ascend to their mountain of Taupiri to lay to rest tō tātou kingi tū heitia. Nō reira, kia koe, tō tātou nei mārei kura. Your journey be travelled with the King. And as I said, in the last 2-3 days, those pearly gates will be wide open, and all our whānau that have gone before you will await your arrival. Nō reira, e rau rangatira mā, all those that are here today, on behalf of our whānau, te whānau, Uncle Lester, his children, Mokopuna, Auntie Ngaire, and our Fulton whānau. Thank you once, thank you twice for being here. There's a question that is often asked when a loved one has passed. What can I do? What can I do? You by being here today, your presence here today to farewell our marae kura, to support our whānau in time of grief, means more than words can express. Nō reira, i ngā rau rangatira mā, to you all, tēnā koutou, kaore e tōro hea ngā kōrero, me whakapoto te kakau o te paipa. Engari, kaore te kumare e kōrero no tōna ake reka. Tō tātou nei kuia, e nā kaumātua, kai runga tō tātou marae. Hei hāpai tō tātou reo rangatira, a kawa nei, a tikanga nei. Koutou, tēnā koutou. Me inoi tata. E hono rehe kororia he mau ngā rono, he whakaro pai ki nā tāna takatoa. Āmene. He mea nui rawa te inoi. Hei maramatana ki te ao. Hei ara hei, hei ara taki. Kia tātou, tō tātou nei mā reikura. Ki tua te arai. Haere, ki tōna wāhi oki oki. Kai rungara. E ki mino nei te maramatana. Kia pua wai e ngā wā katō. Ka huri au kia koe te areki. Ko whakamoimeti. Gloria ki tō ingoa tapu. Amen. Prayer. Prayer is a song we all can sing. A light the blind can see. Prayer is a gift the poor can bring, however poor they be. Prayer is a star that lights the way to those, our whānau, who are in need. And when our hearts lay down to pray, tō tātou nei matua ni tarani, tō tātou nei kaihana, will hear your prayer. Mai e te tipua, mai e te tawhito, mai e te kāhui o nā riki, mai e tā whiwhiki nātua, ko rangi nui e tū I hone ko papatua nuku e tako tonei. Kaupare ngā kino o te wā, kaupare ngā kino o te wā, kaupare ngā poke e te wā. Ia whakawātea te arataka tū wa tāne whakaperiperi. Tēnei te pou o tupua nuku. Tēnei te pou o tupua rangi. Ka whakamau ki uta. Ka whakamau ki tae. Tūturu whakamau a kia tēnā. Haungie. Huie. Tātou katoto tātou nei karekia. Kia tau. Kia tau. Kia tātou katoa, te ata whai o tō tātou ariki a ihiru karaiti. Me te aroha o te atua, me te whiwhina tahitana, ki te wairua tapu, ake, 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 āmene. Kia ora tātou.
Or Since you